And here we are with another episode of Saturday Morning Cereal from the Bombshell Factory this week.
Good morning, everybody.
Yay! Well, I certainly appreciate you guys tuning in to us over on the Twitch channel. And if you're catching us later, if you've got stuff that you're doing this morning, because this is a holiday weekend, right? We're doing Memorial Day this weekend. So, I know that a lot of folks are going to be traveling and doing stuff with their families and all that sort of thing. So, if you're not able to catch us live while we're bringing the show to you from the studio, then you can catch up with us later on YouTube. I'll be transferring this over probably tomorrow or something. It takes a while for the transfer for it to go from Twitch over to YouTube. So once it gets over there, then I'll post links and you guys can catch up on this episode, because we've got some stuff that we're going to talk about as far as like the Kickstarter project goes, and some Counterblast stuff, and also with some of the stuff that we're working on that we're going to put out next. So we kind of want to go over all of that stuff with you. But before we do that, I kind of want to tell you about, this is the last opportunity, the last weekend, and only a few more days left. Hey, looks like Brandon's jumped in there. Hey, Brandon, good to see you this morning. Yay! Thanks for jumping in. We do have it's the last few days of these May promos that we have. So still got the military team combo special that we're doing in the web store for $30. You get all of these miniatures, Tilly, Betty, and Kalessa, plus their little sidekicks that go along with them. So we're doing that for $30. And then we've got the Omega Squad combo special, and this has got Liberty, the new Liberty figure. We've got Elsa Von Spectre, and Tammy the Tank Girl, and Esmeralda, and
Dahlia.
Yeah, Dahlia. Thank you.
Dahlia
Carlson, right. So we've got all of those in that set for $45. So you save $15 on that. So that'll be wrapping up. I think Tuesday is the last day on that. Is it?
Yeah, the last day of the month.
Yes, the 31st, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got those until Tuesday, and then Vicky's working on a couple of things for next month, for June. We're going to do like what is it?
Actually, 4.
Oh, yeah, well,
we got 4 different buy 2 get 1 frees coming up next month.
Okay, and we'll post those images and so forth for you guys this coming week, so you can check that out. The other thing that I wanted to mention was that over on My Mini Factory, like if you want to get STL files, the digital downloads of any of these, then you can pop over to My Mini Factory. Actually, before we get to that My Mini Factory, we've still got the Babes special run, the Babes and the Sidekick specials. I kind of want to tell you guys about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's kind of ongoing, isn't it?
That's going to be an ongoing thing. It's not just this month, but it's going to be ongoing. So if you get you have $50, then you can pick one of these Babes from this list, and you can see the banner and stuff on the web store that we have. And there's if you get $50 more, you can pick any one of these Babes and any one of these sidekicks. And we'll put that in your order for free for the amount of that purchase. If you get $25 or more, then you can pick one of these sidekicks. If you don't get quite $50 worth of stuff, so you can get one of these little guys to go with your order, and you can just put in there in the comment section which one you want. Otherwise, we'll pick one at random that kind of goes with the stuff that you've got in your order, and then that way. Yeah, that completely derailed.
What? What happened?
what I was thinking.
What happened?
No, it just turned left down the lane. But anyway.
Well.
Right.
But yeah.
Oh, and hey, Dave jumped in. So Dave's with us this morning too.
Well,
so hey, Dave.
Good morning.
Thanks for popping in. It's good to see you up in Adam on this Saturday morning. So thanks for joining us. Hopefully you guys have got some hobby stuff that'll be going on today. We've got some stuff that we're going to be doing here in the studio, so looking forward to seeing what you guys are working on. But anyway, so I mentioned a minute ago, like if you want to get the digital downloads of any of the STL files, we've got a coupon for our My Mini Factory page. So jump on over to My Mini Factory and go to Bombshell Minis, our little store there. And if you get any and all of the STL files that you get, if you put in the Atomic May coupon code at checkout, you've 50% off of all your STL files this month in order to kind of boost that up. So,
yep. Thank you.
Yeah, Dave loves pink.
No, I think isn't that Brandon?
Oh no, Brandon said yeah,
Brandon?
he loves pink. Yeah. That's right. Okay, so because of the holiday weekend, I was talking about that earlier. It's Memorial Day weekend, so everybody's got Monday off. Is it Monday, right? Because it's like, well, the banks are going to be closed, the post office is closed, and a bunch of other things.
Party.
And so I guess those of you that work in the regular workaday week type of thing, you've got the holiday on Monday. So that's cool. I mean, you get some extra hobbying stuff in and all that. I know we're going to be ramping up on the next phase of production of stuff, and we're going to kind of talk about that next. Because we've got some more updates and stuff on the Scout Ship Kickstarter project. So I kind of want to tell you guys about some of the stuff that we got done this week on that. Hooray! Okay, so okay. Over the last couple of weeks, because we were off last week, we didn't do an episode last week because we were catching up on some stuff and we had a lot of things going on. And so kind of wanted to finish those up. And so we skipped the Saturday show last week. So we're going to kind of catch you guys up on what we're doing this week. So let's see, what do we cast first? I started casting because we have
the stretch goal stuff.
Yeah, the stretch goal stuff. That's what we started with.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so
then you cast the Scout Ship stuff, except for the fins and the hulls and the engine cowlings.
Right. Yeah. So we have just a few parts left for the core ship kits.
But all the smaller parts are cast for that.
Right. So we've got about like 24 packages of stuff left to go.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the first 12, we were going to do the first 12. We're going to kind of break it up, and I've out of those the next 12 orders that we were going to send out, I've gotten we've cast, cleaned and packaged. Okay, cast all of the 5 different stretch goal bundles. So those have all been cast for this batch, and the ship parts. So in other words, like the hatches. And like the interior, like the little scatter terrain pieces and the nose cone, the landing gear, and all those little ancillary pieces for the kit. All of that stuff's been cast.
Nose cap.
Right, the front end of the ship. Yep. So all that stuff's been done, and then Vicky's mom came out on Thursday, which is a lot of fun because she'll get in there and just start bagging up all that stuff. So she loves packaging up that and hanging out with us. So she came out Thursday and packaged all that up so that Vicky can start packing those kits and everything once the hulls and everything are cast. And I'm going to do that this week. And then while I'm doing that, I'm also going to cast the rest of the add-ons. We'll start on doing that, cast the rest of the add-ons for the ship. And that's going to be, all of those additional things that, you could put on your Kickstarter pledge, like an extra cargo,
stasis
pods, strafer, all of that kind of thing. Okay, so
Princess Party at Cruise.
Right. So as far as like the war rocket itself goes, okay, we got the upper fin and afterburner and tail cap section of the war rocket printed. So So it's mostly been cleaned. I've still got a few little things to kind of patch on that, and then that's going to go to mold this week. And then we've got I'm printing the side wings for the War Rocket. So there's one wing, and then I've got another one that's still on the printer. So we'll get that off and clean that up. And so that's laid out. Vicky's going to clip all those little supports off, and then I'll kind
I saw that in there.
Sand that down, and so we'll have those ready to go to mold. So then I'll be moving on and working on some of there's like a balcony hull that I think that I'm probably going to do that next. There's like little interior walls and bulkheads and stuff that goes with that, and then plus the hull section that's got the open balcony part. And in previous episodes we had shown pictures of what some of that stuff looked like. I didn't drop them into these slides. But anyway, yeah, thanks. I'm glad you guys are liking how that looks. Let's see. Oh, and yeah. See, Brandon's he said he's working at the hospital. The hospital's never closed, so he's going to be working on Monday. And pharmacies never close either. So let's see. Let's call for that unless there's a huge outage. Yeah.
The ones at the grocery store.
Right. Hey, and it looks like Heather's in from Dragon Eye Miniature. She's popped in. Hey, glad you could jump in with us this morning. It's good to see you. So thanks for joining in the chat and coming and hanging out with us. We're just kind of going through some of the stuff that we were getting done on the War Rocket part of the Kickstarter thing this week. So no worry about being late. Just come in and hang out with us. And if you feel like you missed anything earlier, like a few minutes ago, you can always go back to YouTube and catch the beginning.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. Some advertisements for the stores. So, but anyway, okay. So then this is our project board. Okay, so all throughout the production and stuff that we've been doing, we've been keeping track of like the parts and everything that we've been casting, in batches of stuff. Okay, so this is the final 24.
Yep. There's actually 21 remaining orders, I think.
Yeah. So of the stuff that's come in so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that there are still backers out there that haven't gone through the pledge manager and picked out their stuff.
Well, hey, that's on them.
Well, right. I mean, they
gotta tell us.
It's been a year.
It's been a year.
So
you need to tell us.
Let us know what you want, and we'll
take care of it.
We'll take care of it and send the stuff out.
That's right. But as far as who's gone through pledge management, let us know so far.
Right.
This should take care of it.
Yeah. Okay, so what we did here was, and you guys don't really need to know this. I don't know if you care or not, but I mean, this is kind of how we're keeping track of this stuff. So, with this last 21 orders.
Mm-hmm.
You said, okay, yeah, with the last 21 orders, and then like a couple of people got, like 2 scout ships on that. So it's like, well, so we're...
Some of them got 3.
Yeah. So we're running 24 kits of, so you get the core box with the scout ship kit in it. And then there's 5 little bundles of stuff that's got like the stretch goal things, like the mini ship and the sensor package and all the little things that like, hey, we unlock this and it goes with the kit. Okay, so that's going to be the stretch goal items. Okay, and so those aren't actually on this list, even though there's an indication there it says extra sets of stretch goals, and that's going to go with some of these other orders. Okay, but what?
Yeah, we have all the stretch goals.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. For this batch of orders that we're going to send out, this first 12. Okay, because it's like 12.
Yeah.
And then 12.
Well, it's going to be actually going through and retallying based on what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
For the Strafer and the Thunderbikes, it's going to be 9 and then 12.
Right.
So.
Right.
And 9 and 12, 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It's going to be 9 and then 12.
Right. And yeah, Dave's not in the stragglers. He got his order in. So it's like, yeah, we've got your order, Dave. And also, I know that you sent us...
You're in the 21.
Yeah. And you sent us a thing that was... hey, you wanted to swap out a couple of your stretch goal items, and I have that. You sent me that spreadsheet, so I've got that, and your order will be going out. I'm not sure if it's going to be in this bundle or the next bundle. It just depends on what the combination.
It'll be in one of them.
It'll be in one of them, but it's in this batch of stuff that we're doing right here.
It's in this final 21 that we have.
Right. So what I've got to do is I've got to run. So for the rest of the project, just these are all of the orders that we've received up to this point. So if you haven't turned your order in, then we'll cast those and do that stuff next. Okay. So whoever it is that comes in after this, so I've got a batch of Thunder Bikes that I've got to do. I've got to run another batch of Plutonium Crews and so forth. And so most of the molds that I put together, I can do. I get I get 6 of everything out of it. So it's like some of this stuff we're required to do. I'll be required to run a couple of runs of it, but that'll give us some extra stuff for anybody that comes along afterwards and puts their order in, picks out their rewards and so forth, and any of that stuff that we come in is like, well, we'll have a few extra things. So anyway, but this is a lot of stuff, and so I'm still going to be running stuff over the next couple of weeks because we still have parts and stuff to print for the War Rocket and everything. So once we get those molds made, then we'll be running those War Rocket parts, putting those kits together, and then we'll start shipping that stuff out. So it's all coming in June. So you folks that have backed the Kickstarter project and picked the War Rocket and stuff, I'm anticipating that you'll start to receive those packages in June. And everything, and then we'll just keep casting until we get caught up. So that's our update so far on this, and I'll get you guys some more pictures and stuff in the next episode of the other parts that we run this coming week. So let's see what we've got coming up. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about. Over the last few episodes, Vicky's been kind of sharing some stuff about the Counterblast stuff that she's been working on. And so I kind of wanted to take the opportunity to talk to you guys about Illyrians. Okay, and Illyrians are going to be in the Counterblast game because they're they're in the adventure battle game. So I'm going to kind of give you guys a backstory on kind of where those guys came from. Okay, so we're not going to be talking about the actual Illyrians, and if you go to Wikipedia and put in Illyria, there's a whole page about Illyrians from ancient Roman times. Okay, and so because that's where the name comes from. And then we're not going to be talking about Strange New Worlds, even though this is kind of what prompted this to begin with. And hey, let me just go ahead and give you a spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Star Trek Strange New Worlds, not this week's episode, but the week before, where they're talking about Illyrians and stuff, I don't want to give anything away, but you may want to turn the volume down because there is a character that is Illyrian on that, but it doesn't have anything to do with our Counterblast Illyrians.
Though.
Right. So that's why when I saw this come up, the episode is called The Ghosts of Illyria. And it's a pretty cool episode, and I don't know if you guys have been watching the new Star Trek series and stuff over on Paramount Plus, but it's pretty cool, and I'm enjoying that more than I like the Kenobi episodes. But if you guys want to get out and yell at me on Facebook about that, then go ahead. But anyway, it's pretty cool. So the Illyrians that we're going to be talking about are these little guys, okay? And so this is the little page that Vicky had kind of put together of the little aliens and stuff. And I'm going to kind of go over a little bit of the background about where these guys came from and kind of what my idea was in kind of creating them. So I think this is actually posted out there on the Bombshell Facebook page, so you can kind of check out. This is kind of just a little brief overview of like what the Illyrians are and where they come from. So the concept of the little alien guys goes back way back to high school for me. So, like, this was, I want to say it was the early 80s. Okay, so when I was in high school, it was like 82, 83 or whatever. And I was in film class in high school. We had motion picture production where I went to high school. And so, of course, I was in that class, and we picked a little project to do, and I thought, oh, well, it'd be fun to do like an animated project. So I wanted to do claymation and stuff. And so I came up with these little alien characters and, wrote a little script. It's supposed to be like a 5-minute short. And so I couldn't come up with a name for it, so I just called it Stop Motion Animation Project. And so the acronym for that was SMAP, S-M-A-P. And so I had these little alien characters that their ship crashed on this thing, and I made this like foam terrain for them to walk around on and shoot each other and all that kind of stuff. So it was a little sci-fi claymation project. But and I should have grabbed a picture of this, but the original concept of this with the eye stalk was I was kind of captivated by what was it? Monty Python and the Meaning of Life? No, it's The Life of Brian. Okay, did you ever see that the Life of Brian movie?
I think so. I don't remember.
Okay, well, it's if you haven't seen it, it's about Brian who is mistaken to be the Messiah, right?
Oh,
so
yeah,
he's like kind of proto Jesus, like it's kind of missing like all of the things that like Jesus is doing. It's like he's either coming in late or he's like in the wrong place or whatever, and he's mistaken as that. And so, like at the end of it, he's chased out this tower window and falls into this, and this spaceship like swoops down and he crashes into the ship. And there are these aliens inside of it. And what they did was they took this like eyeball, and you could see it's like being held by a hand. It's like, and they puppeteered these like eyeballs looking around. And it was the funniest thing to me. And so that kind of image stuck. And I thought, well, if I'm going to make some little claymation things, I want to have one guy with like an eye stalk like that. I thought that was a clever idea. And so that was basically where the design of that came from. It was based on that scene from The Life of Brian. And if you go out to YouTube or whatever, you can actually see that clip. They've got that sequence on YouTube, and it's pretty funny. I mean, because how ludicrous would that be? It's like he falls out of the thing, and just all of a sudden the spaceship swoops by. Okay, so I made the little project and everything, and then it's sad. I mean, I had sketches and all of this stuff from like the mid '80s and everything for this little alien character. And so then, once I started playing Warhammer 40K, I was kind of interested in sort of doing my own version of Imperial Guard, because I was collecting Imperial Guard at the time as one of the, I had Space Marines and Eldar and Imperial Guard, and now they're called Astra Militarium or whatever they've been able to trademark. So I thought, well, it would be really cool to kind of take their sort of proto-Cadian design or whatever, these little trooper types, and make little eye stalk alien things and just do like a whole army of these things. And so I was trying to figure out, and this was like way before I started casting stuff in resin and all that, and I just thought, oh, this would be kind of a fun, kind of an army conversion thing to do. And so I did this little sketch, and the sketch that I've got here that you're seeing in the upper right-hand corner, that's kind of the first Illyrian sketch that I did since the design from the animated film, back in the 80s. So I kind of, it's like, well, I kind of want to base the design, around that. Just kind of give them these helmets and sort of these space trooper kind of look. And, I wanted to do like a whole army on those. Well, okay, so that sat for a while. And I never really did anything with that. But I always kind of had that in the back of my mind, so that when Counterblast came around and we were starting to put stuff together for that, I thought, ooh, it would be really fun, and it'd be kind of a different alien type of thing that you normally see, to kind of put those in in the Counterblast setting. It's like, well, let's make some Illyrians and to go along with the shark things and the fish things and all that stuff. So I started working on that, and I did this initial sculpt kind of based on that sketch. And once I put a few of these figures together, I had like a little a prototype Niran thing, which was Andromedans at the time, and I had like a couple of those. I had this little Illyrian guy, and of course Jessica Blaze and the Lucifer robot. So, and I think I showed some sketches of stuff, some art in one of the previous episodes. But anyway, so it got to that point, like around 2009, where, well, I needed to make some cash. And so I had these sculpts, and I was going to produce them myself. But Reaper had just launched their Chronoscope miniature line at the time, because initially they were only doing like fantasy miniatures. It's like stuff for D&D and all that. And so they were like, well, hey, we kind of want to branch out and do other genres of figures and as kind of this catch-all sort of thing. So we're going to do sci-fi, we're going to do cyberpunk and robots and all this kind of stuff. And I thought, oh, well, so I took them over to Ron and I said, well, hey, do you guys, I have a bunch of these, things that I've sculpted. Do you guys want to buy those and put them out, put them in the Chronoscope thing? And they bought them. So this Illyrian sculpt is not something that we produce. It's actually one that you can get over on the Reaper site. So Reaper puts this out in metal. I don't know if it's gone to bones or not. I don't know if it's going to be a plastic thing at some point, or it may be already. I don't know. But anyway, so they've got the production on that. So when we started working on Counterblast as an actual tabletop game, I kind of resculpted another Illyrian trooper to go with the Galactic Defense Force. So this is the prototype. This is the very first Illyrian sculpt that I did specifically for Counterblast. And we produced this model and then a little prototype
Edo Leader.
Yeah, he's got the arc rod and all that sort of thing. So, and the collar ring on this is just a little piece of wire that I took and wrapped around the outside of that little dome that we had made to fit that, because I knew they were going to be 8 millimeters. So when we got those domes in, I fit that on there. It fit perfectly, and so we had our first little Illyrian guy that we could kind of take and take around a demo. So we had these cast, and I had about 4 or 5 of them painted up that we could use to run demo games and stuff. So from there, let's see. I think on the very first, the first Scout Ship Kickstarter project, we introduced a bunch of little character models as add-ons and stuff on that. So I sculpted. This is actually an updated version of the SMAP character that I created back in the 80s for the short film. Now he didn't. The little clay model didn't look anything like this. He did. I mean, it's basically the same configuration, anatomy, and everything. It was purple modeling clay, and he had the eye stalk and the gun and all this stuff. But basically, all he had was a belt or something, or some pants or whatever. But this is kind of an updated costuming and stuff for him, and so I sculpted this as part of that Kickstarter project. So this is this is probably the most recent Illyrian model that we had, and we did like 3 or 4 different characters. I know we've got Nima, which is a little female technician character that we have that's Illyrian, and we kind of talked about their coloration and stuff too, because I thought it would be kind of cool to sort of divide up their genders based on like warm and cool colors. So like female Illyrians would be like kind of warm colors like orange and or maybe secondary colors, that kind of thing. And then male Illyrians would be kind of like cool colors like green and purple and whatever. So but I mean, you can paint them whatever color you want, it doesn't really matter. But I just thought that'd be kind of fun. So so right now I've got, and I don't have any sculpts to show you guys of like, you know, what I've been working on, but we did some art for like the new Counterblast stuff. And so like Heath Foley did this sketch, and it's kind of like it's a Jane from Firefly. It's Jane from Firefly as an Illyrian. Okay, so because he's got the little hat, you know, and a big blaster thing and all this. So I thought that was kind of fun. And I actually did a conversion of one of the Illyrian characters that we had for one of our previous Kickstarter backers. He was like, hey, you know, because one of the levels that we offered on the first Kickstarter project for the Scout Ship was get a Scout Ship, you know, and the extras painted by a studio painter. So like Vicky and I painted 2 sets of those to go out to the backer. So we painted the Scout Ship and like a couple of little characters or whatever to go with it. And the guy asked us like, hey, can you paint one of them like Jane? And so because the Scout Ship that he backed, he wanted like Firefly. So we did kind of the metal kind of a look, and Vicky painted this great, and there's pictures of this out there on the internet. She painted this great Serenity logo and on the nose art of it, so it looks just like the Serenity logo on the actual Firefly ship.
That was hard.
Yeah, but it looked amazing. And so, and I know he was happy to have that. So we did that, and I sculpted the little hat on Jane, and you know, painted it orange and everything. So that was pretty fun. Heather says, "Yeah, the gun that he's got's not big enough for Jane." It's like, yeah, that's
yeah.
true. And what?
Yeah, he needs more weapons, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and bigger ones.
What was the name of his gun that he had? He called it. It was named something. Do you guys know?
I want to say like Betsy or Matilda or something.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. But he had a name for it, and it's like, and see, I keep thinking of Lucille for some reason because. That's BB King's guitar. So because I've been looking at guitar stuff a lot lately. Vera, that's it. Okay, we'll
Vera, that's it.
All right, everybody.
There, Vera, when you dress yourself up, you get taken down.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Right. Okay. So
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's classic.
It was Vera. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that.
Thank you.
So this art, I had Heath Foley do that for us, and that was in our first Counterblast book. And then this is a little piece of art that I did that was kind of based on like a female Illyrian trooper. It's like, okay, well, what would she kind of look like? And then we had a couple of other artists that we did on the second edition Counterblast book. And so this is kind of like an armored spacesuit Illyrian guy, and I think we call him Freeg. I don't know that that's even in the book, but that's what we're referring to this character as. So,
Freak, yeah, he's actually in one of the little short story things.
That's it. Yeah.
Him and his partner, they're mining plutonium, and they encounter the silo.
Bad stuff happens to him. So yeah.
But Freak survives.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that was a spoiler. Whoops.
Yeah, well, okay, it's not like that book hadn't been out for years, but you know, okay, so check it out.
My bad, sorry.
But anyway, so I wanted to kind of go through these Illyrians with you guys because you know, it came up on the Star Trek episode, and it was like, well, wait a minute, we've got Illyrians and stuff. I've been doing
that's not our Illyrians.
That's funny.
Got different Illyrians.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, but that's the thing about it. It's like, well, when you take something out of, you know, actual history or whatever, it's going to wind up, you know, in different places.
Somewhere else.
So that just goes to show that, you know, I guess you're on the right track. You know, when you're thinking about stuff, it's like, oh, well, this would be kind of cool, you know, and somebody else thought it was cool, and they used that. So I went back and I had built a little 3D Illyrian base model, I guess, and I went and looked at it, and it was like, okay, well, that's not even really finished enough to show you. I mean, it was just like some little blobs kind of stuck together in roughly the shape of, you know, what they would look like. So but I kind of want to start on sculpting some of these guys and put them out. but and I had when we put the first version of the game out, I was talking with Jim Ludwig from Dark Sword Miniatures, and he was looking at him. He loves them. He thinks they're really cool, he came up with these ideas. It's like, hey, you should do like a Firefly crew as Illyrian. It's kind of like I showed you the Jane art, and and then he was suggesting like doing cosplay Illyrians, and I was kind of confused, and I couldn't figure out, well, how could you tell that it's an Illyrian doing cosplay, because how do you know it's not just like supposed to be costumed that way? So unless I mean, if you take like a unicorn, like it's a unicorn character, and you put a dragon costume on it, clearly you can see that it's like, oh, okay, it's a unicorn dressed up as a dragon, or whatever. But with these guys, since they're kind of this alien sort of anatomy, it's like, how do you know they're not supposed to be dressed like whatever you're putting? Like, if I put some kind of armor or something on it, or some kind of Renaissance, attire as a cosplay thing, how do you know it's not part of its culture? I mean, there's no way you can tell that it's supposed to be cosplay and not the actual. Yeah, okay, all right. Well, yeah, okay. Brandon's got an idea there, so he said, you could do like a Sailor Moon costume, and it's like, right, okay, so yeah,
that is.
So
that
it would.
Bad.
Well, no, but I mean, I get what you're saying. It's like, it would have to be something that's recognizable. Okay, so then it would be like, it would have to be an Illyrian that's like Batman. Okay, so that it's like,
okay, I got you.
So like you could tell.
Sorry, that's great.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so that's so I missed that. So it's like, no, that's how you would do that. It would have to be some kind of thing.
Something that's very recognizable,
right?
And then dress them up as that. It's like, well, it's them dressing up as this thing,
as that thing.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, it's like, well, now that may be some kind of like cool convention model, or some kind of thing that we could do as like an anniversary thing or something. I mean, since we've got an anniversary coming up in October. Bombshell Minis is going to be 10 years old. So, but I know we've got some other things in mind that we want to do for that. But that would be the way to do it. You could do a Green Lantern Illyrian. I guess you could. I'm not sure how you could do like one eye with like the little mask part, or because I think he's got a mask, right? But I mean, I know you could do one, but he's got the suit and he's holding the lantern.
Yeah, you could give him a mask. Actually, a mask thing would be kind of funny with just the one eye. That'd be awesome. Right.
It could be like really small, like it's just this little slit or whatever, and the rest of it kind of like goes around his whole head, and then have this like hair sticking. Anyway, I don't know. There's a bunch of things that you could do, but okay. Well, not all the Green Lanterns wear masks, right? Oh yeah, because it's like, actually, that was the coolest scene from the movie. The movie was but I love the shot where they had like all of the Green Lanterns. It's like it's hundreds of different alien things from like all over the galaxy, right? So yeah, I could see that. You could put a little Illyrian guy in there as like one of the Green Lantern things. It's like, yeah, that would be kind of fun.
Funny.
Yeah. The other thing is, hey, that Buzz Lightyear movie's coming out.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that.
Right, so I kind of want to get on.
Did y'all see the kitty? You gotta get your space kitty. Space kitties.
Yeah, it's cute. Oh man, I'm looking forward to seeing that. But so we want to try to get the Galactic Defense Force guys, the GDF, kind of want to put out some of those, in time for the
sentries and.
Yep, for the Buzz Lightyear, because we got bubble helmets and everything. Buzz got a bubble helmet, so.
What the heck? I'm doing that wrong.
So, are you still painting on the base for the?
Yes, and I'm stupid. I did the wrong side.
Well, you can.
But that's okay.
You can fix that.
I can fix it.
Yeah.
I can fix it.
So, I'll be working on some of these, and I'll, as soon as I can get some mock-ups and stuff done, some like base sculpts or whatever for the Illyrians, I'll show you guys, because I'm kind of looking forward to putting some of those out. I know we need to put some more Lancers and characters and things out, and
Yes,
kind of fill
we
out
do.
the rest of the GDF.
And Trinar and Alante.
Right. So, okay. So here's the thing that Vicky was doing this week. And so I kind of want to show you this because this is super cool. This is our Chibi Sally sculpt that's done by Araberto. And so we don't have the model actually painted yet. But Vicky was like, well, I kind of want to do a mock-up in Photoshop and see how it looks. So she painted this one in Photoshop. And the costuming is based on the original art from Izzy Collier. And
and I believe Izzy actually liked that when we posted it.
The paint
painted.
the sculpt thing. Yeah, okay, well that's awesome. So she saw that. But it's cute. I thought just as a Photoshop paint job, overpaint, it looks really cool.
Yeah, I have Vivian's in progress. I didn't have her finished, but what I'm really kind of excited about is some of these others that we didn't have paint jobs on, art for. Painting those and painting Tepi and Kai, which we haven't even put out yet.
Right,
so
those. Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to those.
Yeah, I have the sculpts in for those, for Kai and for Tepi, but I need to put those into production. So let's see. Oh, okay. So Brandon was talking about maybe we could put two Illyrians together in a llama costume, and so
Heather's freaking out about Kai.
Yeah,
we have Araberto did us a Kai version chibi, and it's awesome. And I'm gonna paint the render, and you'll be able to see it. And Tepi too. I'm real excited about those. So, oh wow, me too. I love Kai. Thank you.
Okay, so I got the pictures here, so I'll show you guys over on outside of the slideshow thing. But okay, here's Araberto's sculpt of Tepialotla. Okay, so and this is just like a quick render out of ZBrush that he did. And so that's kind of
Tepi?
a preview. Yeah, this is Tepi right here.
Yeah, see, because I don't know. I'm kind of torn because I don't think I'm going to paint her like Izzy's art, because I kind of want to do her with a black jaguar coat.
Well, you could still do that because the art that we got from Izzy was just a pencil sketch. So it
wasn't painted?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
No,
it's been so long ago.
It wasn't painted. It was just the it was just the pencil art.
Well, cool,
so
because I'm thinking about doing her as a black jaguar with the real colorful feathers headdress with I don't know, are they macaws or the parrots or whatever?
Yeah.
So,
well, it would be some kind of colorful South American tropical bird. Right.
Yep.
So anyway, so we've got Tepi, and then let's see, we got pics here. Okay, so here's Chibi Kai. So he sculpted a little Kai for us.
Yep.
And there's the render of that.
So I'm gonna.
So you can see some different views of her.
Chibi Kai.
So she's cute.
Got her dagger in her glaive.
Yep, and he did a really good job to like capturing the details and stuff that I had from like the original sculpt. Her little bottle and the little charms and stuff hanging off of her and everything, and her little necklace and stuff. So he did a really good job of getting all the details and stuff on there from that. So
I'm so looking forward to painting that in Photoshop, and then I'm looking forward to actually painting them as figures.
Painting the actual
mini.
The actual thing, yeah. So,
but
let's see.
oh Well, Heather says her 75 Kai is coming along. Man, I'm glad. Are you close? Are you getting close to having some work in progress stuff, or can you not show that, or?
Yeah, she says soon.
Okay, that's awesome.
Well, if you send us some work in progress pictures, I'll drop them into the slideshow, for Saturday morning, and we'll try to kind of spotlight your progress on that, because I'm looking forward to seeing how they turn out.
Yeah, me too.
And any of the rest of you guys, if you're painting Bombshell miniatures and stuff, and you're not posting them over on the Facebook groups or something, please do that, because that's
seeing that.
I love seeing the pictures of the stuff that's painted, and I mean, and even if you don't feel like your painting skills are like, well, it's I don't paint as well as other people. Yeah, don't worry about that. Paint like how you want to paint it, and just share that with us, because it's like we like seeing them, painted, that you're enjoying, painting the models. It doesn't matter.
Plus, nobody can paint like you paint.
Right, you're painting like you paint.
Nobody else can paint like you, so that makes it special. And
yeah, nobody paints like me. I like to paint a certain way, and that's how I paint. And it's like, okay. But yeah, we love seeing those pictures, and you never know. It's like we may snag one of those and put them on the show and stuff, and say, hey, check out, what I saw over here. And it's tough. I see some of our stuff painted over on Instagram, and even they message me and say, hey, check out, what I'm painting on Instagram and all this. But it's difficult to, like, I've got to do like a screenshot and all of that, and it's difficult to do that. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out how I can get some really nice pictures off of like Instagram and put those on the show. Yeah, Wonderfest was kind of out this year, so yeah, actually I think we're going to wind up just doing ReaperCon this year. Just because of all of the stuff that's going on.
Drop out of stuff.
Yeah.
Because
so
we're just so needing to get this project done, and gotta stay here to get it finished. So
right. So we want to try to focus on that and get that done. But in addition to the chibis that we showed you, so those two chibis, and Vicky and I talked about it. It's like we're thinking about depending on how Urzarl comes out, because I've still got parts of Urzarl that still need to be cleaned and shipped off to Nick. Nick actually got his casting set up from COcast, and he's been making stuff over there, and I need to try to get that finished up and sent off so we can get our test castings back from that. But if they come back fine, we talked about sending off these chibi figures over there and having him run the chibis in thermoplastic. Which would be great, because even though they're small, you think it's like, well, it's a little miniature figure. It's like, because the heads on the things are so big, they're very difficult to cast, and they take up a lot of silicone because the molds are so big in order to get those heads and stuff in there.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, maybe that might be a candidate, to ship that out and have that cast. So we'll let you guys know how that's going.
Oh, did you see what Heather posted?
No, I.
She said that the ReaperCon classes are up, and there's space to submit games.
Oh, okay, great. Well,
so
then
we'll have to check that out, because we had to drop our game stuff.
Yeah, so we're gonna move those over to ReaperCon, because we were wanting to run those at ReaperCon anyway.
Yeah.
And we were gonna do that the year of the pandemic, and had promoted it as like, hey, we're gonna run Counterblast things, and then COVID happened, and they didn't have ReaperCon, and so now we can.
Maybe we can have some.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for posting that, because I'll run over to the ReaperCon or the Reaper website and check out the entry submissions and all that kind of thing. So let's see. Dave says that he's got a 75mm Betty and shrapnel that are still work in progress.
Oh, cool.
But Tara is done.
Oh, wow. Pics!
So, Yep, I want to see that. And we still have your Wanda bust here that you painted for us, and it's like, as soon as I go through and take pictures and stuff for the new things on the web store, I'll put those on there. Okay, cool. Heather.
Okay, Heather posted a link for the. Yeah. Thanks, Heather.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if I can.
We'll see if we can get something going.
Yeah, I'm gonna put those over in the thing.
Although we did. We did get 3 spaces this year. So we'll have some gaming space available.
Yeah, and that's going to actually be at the booth. So we'll. I know we're going to set up a little demo space to run the 2.0 stuff, and we may run some stuff.
We may run some beta Savage World stuff if possible.
Okay, the events for TLC, no, it's just going to be like open gaming type of thing. Okay, so because I believe that John has set up like a table for terrain and stuff, and I'll have the Counterblast stuff at that. So it'd just be like, hey, you want to try the game out, and you just play like a couple of turns of it, as like a demo thing. It's not, because nobody's familiar with the game, and so this is going to be just an opportunity to sort of demo it for folks that may want to try it. And it's like, hey, I want to see how the dice mechanics are, or how moving and shooting works and all that type of stuff. So that's going to be more of just open demo type of deal. So yeah, it'll be just walk up kind of thing. Dave was talking about Betty's bomber jacket. Freehand is all that's left. So looking forward to seeing that.
That's a little bit smaller area for freehand than Wanda.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a much smaller space, so to work in. Heather, leave a little bit of time, to do some gaming and hanging out.
Do some gaming.
Okay, and I gotta say that it's like, well, I don't want to fill up all of my free time either. It's like I do want to do some gaming stuff at ReaperCon this time, because we're going to bring stuff to game. So we'll be doing a little bit of RPG stuff, and we'll be doing a little bit of demo stuff, and maybe after hours, like, hey, here's do a little impromptu kind of setup. But my favorite thing about doing ReaperCon in particular, and just pretty much any convention at all, is just like hanging out and visiting with folks at the show. That's like my favorite thing to do, is to talk about the industry, talking about gaming stuff, grabbing some appetizers and drinks or whatever at the lounge area, and just sitting and hanging out. That's my absolute favorite thing to do at the conventions. I mean, it's just because we sit in the studio, we sit kind of isolated in the shop all week for months and months working on stuff and all this. We don't ever get to see anybody, and so
it's great to get to see her.
Yeah, right. And Brandon said rum and Coke. Captain and Coke. Yes, that we will definitely be doing that. So so that's one of the things I'm looking forward to about doing shows.
I'm hoping we get to game with folks and do some fun stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, and particularly since everything has been kind of shut down for the last 2 or 3 years, where it's like, we haven't been able to go and do those things.
Yeah.
Getting to chat with you guys on Saturday mornings has been really kind of a fun opportunity.
Great, because at least we feel kind of connected to a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. So you definitely want to
appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us for a little while.
Right. So you want to keep some time in your schedule to do all that. The one thing I did want to mention too is
because we're running up on time.
Whoop, it's this. Okay. So the last thing that I want to kind of go over real quick before we head out, because we're getting up on the hour, is the Gimp Bots. Okay, and Gimp Bots are, we had those on the Kickstarter. So this is that we actually have the molds now for all of these robots. Okay, so we're going to probably be putting those out, putting them in the web store, this coming week? I got to do like one more set.
What are you talking about?
One more set of arms.
The security bots?
Yeah. Okay, because we're doing 2 packs of those. Okay, so on the, and they were funded on the previous 2 Kickstarter projects. Okay, so like on the Bikes and Bots STL Kickstarter, we had a little bundle of like all the parts for the Gimp Bots. So you get that, and it comes in a little bundle, and it has all like the arms, the chassis, and the light bars. Now this particular chassis that you see here, it's all the same. Okay, but I've got 2 other robot bodies that go with this. So this particular robot was originally designed and funded on the very first Kickstarter for the first Scout Ship Kickstarter project. Okay, and it was like the security bot. We had a security bot, a fire bot, and a medical bot. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to package all of those up as a 3-pack in
First responder bots.
in the first responder bots pack. Okay, so you get those. Okay, and then we're going to do a second pack that's got like their utility bots. Okay, so we're going to have the little you'll get 3 different chassis in it. Okay. And then you'll get a set of lifter arms, and let's see, you'll get some mechanical arms, and then there's the utility arms, which are basically just hands and stuff that are just in kind of general. So, so we'll have those 2 sets. So, and I was able to print out the rest of the parts. We got those on mold. I've still got to cut some of those molds open, and then I need to do the mechanical arms. So I'll print those mechanical arms out. We'll put those on mold, and we'll put those in the web store. So hopefully you will see those next. And even though it was offered on the Kickstarter project, it's like, well, these bots they've been around for a while already. I mean, because they came out, in 2014.
Well, they were an add-on on.
Yeah, they were an add-on. They were an add-on on the Kickstarter project. Yeah. So it's like, they're kind of pre-existing. So, so we'll be sending those out with the Kickstarter rewards, continuing. But we're going to go ahead and put those in the web store so you guys can get those if you want to get the plastic versions of them. We had them out in metal before, but now they're going to be resin. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so we have a utilitarian.
Yeah, we have the utility bots.
Utility bots.
Right. Yeah. And Heather said that it kind of reminds her of WALL-E, and it's like the massage bot. There's a massage bot or whatever that goes around in WALL-E. I had to have to go back and see that again, or I may check it out and see if there's a picture of it online. But yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
That's what I need is a massage bot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be great. Particularly,
that would be awesome.
Particularly after finishing the Kickstarter project. Yes, I think we all need a massage bot to just
absolutely.
We're gonna go have steak. We're gonna have margaritas and get a massage by the massage bot. That's what we need.
All that,
I'm just gonna make a checklist of like this is
some kind of celebration will definitely be
right. Hey, look at that. Christine just jumped in here at the last minute. That's awesome. Thanks for coming and checking us out.
Hey there.
Fuck yeah, pot pie.
Yeah, pot pie. That's right. and we don't want, we just want plain cheesecake.
Yeah, we don't want anything on the cheesecake.
No, nothing on the cheesecake and chicken pot pie, and that's going to be good.
And we will all be happy. So.
Oh, that's too funny.
Well, I feel kind of bad because Christine's, jumped in here, and it's like, well, we're just about to wrap up our episode. Yeah.
Christine, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, yes, I've been sculpting a little bit here and there, but not as much as I would like to, but I will soon be able to get back to sculpting all of the stuff as soon as we get finished.
Yeah. That's why we're working so hard to get this project done.
Yeah.
So we can move on. We really need to move on to some others, some new things.
And get the Scout Ship stuff wrapped up. Yeah.
And get this out to people. And,
yeah.
They've waited long enough. And
yeah, right.
It needs to be done.
It's been a year, trying to get that all finished. So. But anyway, so I just want to let you guys know we appreciate you guys coming and jumping in in the chat this morning and hanging out.
Yeah.
Gain a Moxie token.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Everybody gets some Moxie.
Everybody gets a Moxie token.
Well, I guess they get a Benny, and they're all going to get Moxie Edge.
Yeah.
Moxie Edge.
Right. So, Let's see, wrap up a big project. Okay, next time we'll try to tune in sooner. Yeah, we start at 9. If you want to see what you missed on this episode, I'll be posting that over on our YouTube channel, and I'll share links and stuff on our social media, because you guys can always check out the episodes over there. They only keep like 1 or 2 weeks over on Twitch for us, because I guess we're supposed to reach some kind of level for them to storm or something. But anyway, they're archived over on YouTube. And I think we've only got 3 or 4 more episodes to go. I think there's going to be like 13 episodes in this season, 13 or so. And then we're going to break for the convention season. And then we'll come back next year and do some more episodes on Saturday mornings. So that'll give us an opportunity to kind of start focusing on what we're going to be doing for the shows. And I'm still thinking about doing that Wednesday night on the workbench thing where I'm sculpting and doing all that stuff. I'm not going to be teaching at any cons this year, but we are going to be running some demo games and stuff for Counterblast. So we'll be doing that. But anyway, we're going to run because we've got weekend stuff to do here, and I know that everybody's got weekend stuff to do out there, and particularly with it being Memorial Day this weekend. So we want to thank you guys for jumping in with us today and hanging out. And so I hope you guys have a good holiday weekend. And did you have anything?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Y'all be safe if you're traveling around, and have a fun weekend. And thanks for hanging out. Hope we'll see you next time.
Yep. We will see you next week on another episode of Saturday Morning Cereal. So you guys have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye. Oh, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.